Oh.
Hey.
We are live. Good evening, Leaguers. Evening, fellas.
Evening.
Oh, you are awake then. That's good. Nice to see you join us, Zippy.
Say again?
Nice to see you joining us.
I got a life, man. I ain't going to apologise.
He made it just in time.
Some would say he arrived precisely when
he was just on time.
I know with the usual Leagues timeline, I've usually got about half hour spare before I have to jump on.
Quite a lot in chat already. Evening, everybody in chat. I hope you're all well. Lucy, John, Kane, Gemma, Alex, Michael, Ryan, John, Lucy. Oh, quite a few in there. Right, then, we've got a quick rounds. What we all vaping on? We'll go to Rabbit on my right first. That way.
What's
Rabbit,
up, Leaguers? Actually, I'm just rocking one mod today. I got my Cold Steel, and I'm using the new Coil Turd RDA. It's called the
Coil Turd?
Yeah, it's called an RDA for vaping.
Oh, yeah, I saw you put that today. It looks pretty damn cool.
Running a single coil. That way I can run about 60 watts and it runs all day. And nice. I'm actually dripping a new juice by Rap called Drizzle. It is a sponge cake stuffed with icing.
So sounds. I saw them at Expo, man. They did look nice.
Yeah, this stuff is amazing. But yeah, that's it tonight.
There was none for sale at Expo, man.
Dang.
Yeah, they were just facing, weren't they?
Unfortunately, yes.
Right. So, good evening, everyone. Tonight I'm running 2. First off, still using this after a week. Now, last week I said I would find out how long it goes in between charges. I charged it up at just before last week's show, and it has only just now gone to charging mode.
Dang.
So that's nearly a week.
Nice.
And how often you hit it?
I was using it all day on Monday, Tuesday, and then from about 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock the rest of the week. So that is pretty damn good. Can't complain. And this is the mesh coil in here. I've been using that to see how long this has lasted. It's had 2 different juices through it, and it's still going strong.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's good. Second device I'm on, my Dumex with 1/2 million tip up top, some Sub-Zero coils in there as well.
Nice.
They're still rocking this.
Nice.
So gone through nearly a full bottle of this in the couple of weeks I've had it. It's brilliant stuff.
That's really good.
It is good. Considering I'm not a desserty sort of creamy vapor guy at all, for me to be able to vape this stuff non-stop, it's been great. I'm alternating between that one, the lemon, and the Loganberry. So going through each of them, and yeah, no vapor's tongue or anything at all, touch wood.
Nice.
So happy with that.
Sweet.
All right, what are you working with, Zippy?
I got a few bits and pieces around. I've got tonight that I'm using the 1/2 Moon Skunk.
Hell
beautiful.
With the Titanium Redemption and Sub-Zero calls in there, and some cotton candy, and I've got Pumpkinhead going through that from Chuck Rhodes.
Oh,
I've got Da Vinci on the go as normal with some. Where's my what's it? There it is. Mod from Electro Vaping, that one. And I'm going to have this one on the go once I start getting a build in the RDA. But not one. I don't know what I'm going to use yet. So it's one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I've got plenty to choose from. I might chuck something mentally through it. Fancy a menthol kick.
On a cold winter's day, have a nice kick of menthol.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, I've had this bloody flu and stuff the last couple of weeks. Well, last 2 weeks, and a menthol one helps, man. Especially when you walk into work and stuff, man. Nice blast of something.
Chest
I
freeze.
swear by God. I swear by Goth, which is Cloud Rage, again, another electrovate. But nah, I do enjoy that. That's a nice one. So,
Yeah.
Snow, what you want?
Who?
Snow person. I can't say snowman or snow woman. It has to be a snow person. So let's see what he's got. The case. Come on, snowman, what you got?
You're not talking, is it?
Could be very quiet.
Oh, that Vinci, yeah, that's beautiful.
That's the Vinci. Yeah, that's very nice, Chris. What else you got? What juice you got in that Vinci?
Chris, all your volume.
All right. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Excellent, man. You better know.
What's wrong with the device?
There you go. Try it today.
Oh, no, we can hear him now.
Right, I'm on the Vinci X. I'm on the Vinci X this week. Testing that out. Sorry. I'm also on Milking Juice out of lemon.
How long's the battery lasting in the Vinci?
Well, it does say a week ago, but I managed 3 days on an 18650.
Yeah, you're hitting it a fair bit.
I'm hitting it at 25 watts. Sorry, 24 watts.
No, I mean, constantly.
Pretty much, yeah. I've got normal juice in there, like 3 milligram. I found if you put milk salt in it, it leaks like a mother. But if you put thicker juice in it, it doesn't leak. I actually have one that finds it leaking. Try normal juice, it'll be all right. The other one, I'm on a Dove Pow with, I keep forgetting the bloody name of this.
Bonza.
That's it, the Bonza, thank you. Bonza RDA. That's 0.2 fuse Clapton in there that I threw together myself. Mod King Juice again, blow up slow. Quite a nice one. Blow up slow.
Very much like a very much sounding juice. Very tasty.
Yeah.
Like
it tastes identical to it.
Hang on, what flavour is it?
It's like a pineapple menthol mix. It's a recipe from another company that was about. And then finally, I'm on my hog. I'm on Valhalla, as always. I love this one. And that, I reverted to slush from that.
And what about you, old Jenny?
Tonight I'm on the recently reviewed AA Vape Matrix pod system. This pod hits like a truck for a pod, but battery life is pretty much appalling. It's about 3.5 hours maximum.
What?
About 30 watts. For a pod, it absolutely fits. It's really good hit.
Really?
Gosh. And on there, I've got some Riot Squad Pure Mint. Again, it's a very cold mint, like Zippy was saying, and I'm enjoying that on the pod. And I'm on my Immortal Mods Atom with Titanium APOC 25, normal drip tip, and marketplace watermelon hula berry lime flavour, which is really nice considering it's got watermelon in it. It's if you want
It's not an overpowering watermelon, is it? It's not an overpowering watermelon like some.
No, it's really not. It's a very gentle back note of watermelon.
Yeah. I struggle with watermelon, man, but there's one or two juices. That's one of them that I can bake.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. It's quite Moorish, almost candied.
Yeah.
Looks like we got Josh here now.
Anybody remember the ragged
Do what?
Just before we introduce him, anybody remember the ragged olds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember High Five?
So what do you want?
Wash all yours. What you on, buddy?
What, me? I'm on a grenade. Got some only liquid shortcake in it. Really nice. It's good. I'm on my new knots, which I got yesterday.
Nice.
And,
Show us the front of that.
Front's nice.
The dog.
That's not.
That's actually nice.
and
That's good.
it's kind of cool. It's just like a little,
Kind of like a billet box.
yeah, it's basically just a complete cheap rip-off of a billet box, but yeah, it's nice.
Oh, that's good.
25 watts. It's a Nautilus coil. It's got the 0.7 mesh in it. It's really nice.
Nice.
Let's see that jumper, Josh. Can't see it all.
Wham! Wham!
Yes, Christmas.
The album where they earned the exclamation mark. Yeah, the reason I got my headphones on is it's got no other way of getting audio. My PC's done an update and it has completely foobarred it. So it's the only way I can hear you.
Coolio.
It's all right. We had a great time hearing everything Chris had to say at the beginning of the show.
Was he muted?
What was it? Did your headphones are knackered? He could hear us, but we couldn't hear him.
So whose setup have we not seen yet?
What have you upset him for?
Oh, yeah, you ain't upset, man.
Oh, it's still there.
Yeah, it's not for a while.
John Best, I'm using the same coloured mooners, and I won on Friday, so I have another one coming. Fair play to you.
Nice.
Nice job.
It's good.
Very nice
Yeah.
job.
Nice. So, come on, what's happening? We got this thing then, fellas.
Oh.
Who wants to kick it off?
Right.
Right, where we go?
Sorry, I was thinking of a thing.
Yeah. So, Rabbit, haven't you got something you've seen recently?
I mean, yeah, if y'all want to jump right in that, we can.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
go.
It's good.
All right. I'll put a picture up and we'll let the leaguers read it real quick and give them a couple minutes of dead air and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, read this. This is yeah.
So I'll just give it a run through real quick of the highlighted areas. It's an email and a post that was done by a media group, and it says we are casting team for an upcoming anti-vaping project for the FDA, and then it gives details below, and then it names specific types of teams that they want, and it also says they're paying them $712 per individual, and it's in the Bay Area in California, where they're already banned in like 3 or 4 different cities or counties or whatever. And basically gives them all the information they need and stuff they can do to apply for it. But I actually, I was actually kind of on the fence about sharing this because when I first read it, I thought that there's going to be people to see it and they're going to jump all over it because it's money involved. And then the more I thought about it, I think it needs to be everywhere. I think that we need to make it known everywhere that this is the kind of backwoods crap they're pulling. Basically trying to shut this industry down. So, we're going to go hire kids to play in a commercial, basically saying that vaping is bad. But yeah, it's just something that kind of caught my eye. I found it very interesting that they would, I'm not surprised, especially with all the shit they've pulled, but I found it interesting, and I thought maybe we'd see what our leakers thought, and I wanted to hear what you guys thought about it.
Well, once again, they're exploiting children who push an anti-vaping stance, aren't they? It's exploiting minors, I suppose, when they're saying there's already a youth epidemic. They loved that word, didn't they? They're just pushing youth to actually vape. I presume in this advert they're actually going to vape and they're going to be underage, or at least have a device in their hands, probably. It's a whole load of wrong. Let's be honest. It's a load of bullshit. You can't be
but how many of them youngsters are going to actually vape?
Yours it?
How many of them youngsters are actually going to vape?
Pass.
You know what I mean? I'm not being funny, but I can go on the street now and grab 6 kids who don't even know what a vape is, pay them $712 and get them to say, yeah, vape is bad. That's
plus
bullshit.
extras.
Honestly, that's the worst part is that they're not even, you can guarantee they're not going to use actual vapors. They're going to go and try to find 14 and 15-year-old kids that they can get paid to lie about vaping to help push a fucking agenda. Like, this just goes back to what got me heated last time when I did my rant episode. Like, you're using children, innocent children, like children that are fucking easily manipulated, children that you could tell anything and they're going to believe that is the fact. You're using that as a tool to scare actual people away from, like, that just blows my mind that that's even an option.
Can you put that back up real quick, bro?
Yeah, I got you.
Cheers. Because, that there, we're casting for an upcoming anti-vaping project. That, to me, means that's not just aimed at the youth section. That is an anti-vape campaign.
Yeah. And did you see the part where it says compensation $712 for filming plus residuals?
Yeah.
So not only do they get paid for just the day they're there, but they're going to get paid. That's a great incentive for anybody to step up and lie, not just 14 to 19, but anyone, because like you're offering money to an economy that's already been beaten down in the last 5 to 10 years, and you're offering people free money to step up and tell a lie. Like, and all you're doing is regurgitating the bullshit that you've already pushed out with the propaganda. So it's not.
The other thing that concerns me there is Article 2. Girls that are the cool and popular topic.
Yes,
That's disgusting, man.
Yeah.
Article 2, girls aged 14 to 18, the cool popular type girl.
Yeah.
So, you're not just taking, you're being very, very selective there. So I'm taking that they're going for, the Instagram follow, in other words, you've got to have a fair bit of social media back behind you and this, that, and the other. You know what I mean? That's the motive behind that.
Sorry, I was checking. I was muting microphones trying to find out where that noise was coming from. The number 4 bothers me too. Athletic teams between 16 to 18 that plays a varsity level sport. Bonus if you can get your coach to come in and submit with you.
Jesus.
Like, that blows my mind, man.
That's a very, very small group of teenagers to be targeted.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
it wouldn't be a
You know what I mean?
it's insanity.
And you know, I mean, to turn around and say they're going to be paid and everything else, that to me, how is that even allowed to happen? You know what I mean? It's. I hope the parents of these kids that go forward have got some kind of morals about them.
Yeah,
I'm damned if I'd be letting my daughter be, you know, entering some of the cool and popular type and this, that, and the other. That don't sit right. That. I really hope that gets the actual sort of backlash that deserves. I really do.
Yeah, I do too, man. I'm just trying to read some of the comments that people are putting on here because people seem to have an opinion on it. Okay, Indiana.
Sorry,
Yeah.
folks, I'm having a little technical glitches tonight. A few little sounds in backgrounds and things that we're picking up on. We're just trying to sort that behind the scenes as we're working through these comments.
There, whatever that was.
Yeah, that tapping right there, like someone's playing the drums.
I'll just get a little bit of a weird. But oh well.
I mean, Tracy Hagan, Alex, you'd be surprised what
Vinny.
kids can afford.
Oh, it's Vinny. I just muted Vinny's microphone and it stopped.
Kick him.
Sorry, Vinny, gotta go.
Yeah, me off. I'll go get my headphones.
He'll figure it
His
out.
Wi-Fi trying to get round.
Okay, so
I mean,
I want to talk about some of the stuff we're seeing on the comments. Michael Harris. So it is in some states, but it's not all over yet. That's one of the propositions that the advocacy groups are putting forward to the president. Basically, let's make it 21 and over, across the board. But that is one of the things that were brought up. Also, Alex, I saw your thing about the mods and the cotton and battery stuff. We also had said stuff about that too. Maybe disposing of the smaller, easy to hide stuff, the high nicotine. We don't need it. We talked about that on another show, I believe. It's ridiculous. Like, I understand some people's preference. They enjoy the buzz. But as an adult, it's okay, to enjoy the head buzz. You can do that, but I don't think that it's something that has to be around. I think we were fine without it for, plenty of years. We don't need that, 50 milligram around right now to get people off cigarettes, in my opinion. But like I said before, everything you hear on this show is our personal opinions. We're not stating these as facts. But yeah, that's
some facts we do state.
Well, yeah, I mean, we do know some facts.
Facts don't matter, man.
Let's see.
But no, you can guarantee that we're chucking, these little pod systems into the hands of these youth. I should imagine.
Yeah, I mean they'll all have jewels in their hands, 100%.
Most of the time. Anonymous Vape says, if you can serve in the military, you can vape. Yes. So that is another thing that they brought up, that 21 and over for all of the U.S. except for those in military, will be able to vape as an option if they are enrolled in the military. Now, my only thing with that is that literally goes against everything that they are fighting us about right now when they say, well, teens shouldn't be vaping or because it's affecting their brains because of their age. But if you go to the military, it don't matter what age you are. Like that seems kind of contradictory to me. It's fine if you're fighting for the country, you can vape, which I, like I said, I'm cool with. I think everyone should be able to have the choice if you're 18 or older. But if they're going to switch it to a specific age, you don't sit here and tell us you're doing it because it affects teenager brains and then turn around and say it's okay for certain teenagers, because that completely contradicts what you're saying.
And didn't, when they started doing all the flavor bans started coming out, the military, lots of military places almost said, no, you can't vape. You can smoke, but you can't vape.
Yeah, they started basically saying that they were going to I think it was only one branch, maybe it was the Marines or the Army. One of the branches they decided to not jump forward and make a knee jerk reaction, but I know there was like 3 or 4 that did they did go ahead and outright ban the vaping on the bases or took it out of the bases.
Yeah. It just seems so contradictory in every way, shape, and form.
Yeah, it's almost everything they're doing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's basically what it's about, anonymous vapes. You know, it is about the money side of it. There is no other justification for what they're doing. It's been proven time and time again, you know, MSA and all that.
Right, we're sorted the audio out now, folks.
So here I was getting the blame, saying it was me, and it was you.
Well,
Yeah,
what you gotta
yeah.
remember is this is again Vinny's doing something technical. You know, just leave it to Rabbit. Just leave the buttons alone. You know that you cannot do it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I completely agree.
Why do I always get drug into this?
Because you can do it, and I can't.
You do it so well.
Yeah.
I mean, I've even suggested this week we let Chris have a try and do it.
Oh shit!
Anything's got to be better than what is got going on.
You know something's wrong when you want to give Chris the board.
Yeah. Exactly.
Josh is gone now.
Yeah,
that's it. It's like he's over it.
Just put up his computer's just crashed.
Oh, did it? Damn.
This is what happens when you don't update your computer.
You must obey the machines.
Nasty call, Sue Nelson. How you doing?
Good to see you, Ian.
I'm going to keep pinging back to his comments.
I think my earphone jack's fucked.
Oh, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Let me do it. Nah, not with this laptop.
It can't be any worse than what him up there's do.
That's good. Minutes from the intro track. Actually do it.
Right, so how are our leaguers this week? What's everybody been up to? What we had for? You know, what have we had come through the host?
And while we're waiting for them comments to come, I'll just say the hamper giveaway is starting tonight. It will be about the hour mark when we're going to give away the first round of entry, shall we say? All will be explained about the hour mark.
Yes.
Michael Harris, the Hokey Cokey show tonight, in and out and shaking all about.
Always.
Like I says, it's what happens when you put Vinny in control. We didn't have this problem the other week, did we, Rabbit? Come on, let's be fair.
Okay, I'll be honest. Oh, and another thing while we're waiting on those comments, just so the guys know, we're going to be doing a lot of things coming up for 2020. All of us guys have been working on a lot of cool things. We're talking about doing some online cloud comps. We really like the scavenger hunt thing, so we might do some more things with that. We're working on a lot of really cool segments and stuff for the show. So we just want y'all to know we're just getting started. We got a lot of things planned. We're going to have a lot of big things coming in 2020. We're going to stay advocacy in our roots, but we're going to try to branch out and bring y'all every aspect of vaping that we can. We're going to reach out to multiple people and make sure that we keep y'all fully aware of everything going on in the vape industry.
Yep.
Yeah, boy.
And if there's anything that anybody wants to know about, just drop us a message. You know where? alexvg@gmail.com.
Yep.
You know,
I'll get that email.
Every joke.
Yeah, you can send funny bald jokes to Chris. You can Uh,
The more the merrier. Just leave. Just listen. Just don't mention his dog. We'll be all right.
oh yeah. Woof woof, mother.
He gets right rough around the edges on that one. Hey?
It wasn't the dog that you mentioned.
Oh,
Hey, I'm not going there. I'm just saying. Let's not mention.
no doggies. No doggies.
No doggy
Right,
joke.
if we've got a lapse in what we're talking about here, I've got a little mini rant going on tonight as well.
Hit it.
Go on then.
Let's hear it.
Hang on, let me
When
get
Vinny gets the rant on.
Yeah, get
Put
50p in a meter.
Oh wait.
Go on then.
Hey, wait. I got a good intro, Vinny. Hold on.
All right.
I got this for you. Watch this. This Vaping Vinny.
Yeah, I've not even got an intro for a rant.
Come on then. Let's have your rant.
I can't. He's took me off the air.
No, he
I
hasn't.
can hear you.
Yeah.
There I am.
We're looking at you.
Right, yeah, but it wasn't showing on my screen. It is now. Okay, I'm not going to name the group. I was in a Facebook group recently, and it all kicked off with a company called Mex Direct. A lot of the guys on the panel would have heard of these. They basically sell clones, and they was absolutely adamant the cloned Purge, Immortal Mods, and Rogue were actually seconds made by the company and sold to clone companies because they didn't want them. Now, all three of them companies actually sell blems. I know that for a fact. I've shared everything of them, but this company, Mex Direct, just would not listen to the fact they was talking absolute bullshit just to get the sales of clones. Absolute bullshit. And I called them out and called them out and called them out. I had a massive argument with moderators and things of this group. Eventually, the group owner came and spoke to me privately and apologized and said, yeah, you're damn right. My moderators and everything were out of order and things like that. Clone companies do not sell seconds from the company that they're cloned of. They are clones. They are inferior metal clones.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot stress that enough. They are not seconds from the companies. They are cheap-ass clones. Now, I haven't got an issue with clones per se. They're going to be around. Everyone knows that. Everything in society is copied and faked, I suppose, is another way of putting it. But for a clone company to bear out say that these are actually seconds from the company is just complete bullshit. And Mex Direct should hang their heads in shame. They really should.
And at the end of the day, if anyone wants further proof on that, we can invite the owners of said companies on Twitter and ask them straight.
And I mean, to be honest, I've actually worked for a couple of these large American mech companies, and I can tell you straight up that is not the case at all. I've actually watched a specific company that I'm not going to say names, but had a whole batch came out and they were a little messed up, and instead of marking, they wouldn't even sell them for blems. They ended up destroying them and just doing another batch. So I know for a fact that that's bullshit. All the clones are made over in China. They don't have nothing to do with the mech companies that are coming out of the U.S. Any of them.
And let's hope that Mex Direct gets slapped with a legal suit.
Yeah,
well,
because you damn well sure to have one.
Yep.
I don't think a few of these companies would take very kindly to that.
No, definitely not.
No. I think their lawyers might have something to say about it.
Well, I hope so, because
No
they bloody well deserve it. For actually, the actual owner of the company was saying this. It wasn't just like a bot that reps the company or whatever. It was actually the owner saying it.
Well, if he's the owner, then I'll tell you what, show us the proof, show us the invoices of you buying these then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should have them. I
Well,
bet you can't
my-
pull them out of your ass, can you?
Email between the owner of the
One-
company, the owner of
One
the
of my last questions to him was, does he have public liability insurance that covers him for selling fake products?
Yeah.
Something tells me he doesn't.
No.
No.
No. And I guarantee you, there's no proof that they got them from any of those companies.
No.
You know,
No.
I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of clones, but I 100% see, you know, if someone does want a clone, you know, not everybody can afford, you know, a real product, and they might like the look of something. So, you know, I get it, but it wouldn't be for me. But yeah, it's wrong. You know, it's
To say that it's from the company and it's their blends is just completely wrong.
Oh, can I? Okay, I want to speak on this for a minute.
Go on, then, Robert.
So I understand where Josh is coming from, and Josh, don't take this wrong. I'm not arguing with you.
no.
But my thing with clones is you're profiting off of someone else's idea. Period.
100%. Yeah.
I understand that they're cheaper because they're knockoffs and they use, you know, they mass produce them and they make a whole bunch, and they're probably going to end up breaking down or not lasting or lots of issues with them because they're cheaper product, because they're not made small batch like most of the U.S. companies do. So my biggest issue is the fact that they're profiting off of someone else's design. Like, I guess my issue with clones is more of a morality thing, because these guys work real. I mean, I've actually worked on designs myself. I know how hard this is, like coming up with your own thing to do something different, to, you know, to kind of help change and mold the market. And then some company steps in and takes a look at it and turns around and makes a whole shit ton for cheap and then sells them. I guess that's where my big issue with clones is. And especially now, I mean, 2019, you can find a decent mech mod that's not a clone for a good price. I mean, like Coil Art times Vape. Like, I can name a few companies that make decent mech mods for a really good price. Or even Mech Life. Like the Arcless was a great mod. I used it all the time, and I only paid like $60 for it. So yeah, I hate clones, man. I don't know. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent.
No.
But I do not like clones at all. I hate that. I hate seeing people profit off someone else's shit. Like, it just bothers me.
I understand that
It's
completely.
insane to me. I mean, my first mech was only like 30 quid with an RDA. So you can find some pretty decent starter mech mods at a decent price. It's the whole fact that they're ripping someone off and blatantly doing it, that just pisses me off, personally. Yeah.
Wow, Chris. That was almost inspirational.
Vapes, I got an excellent mech on Florida Vape Supply with a closing sale. Yep, exactly.
You can always.
Let's face it. I mean, the one thing I will say for a lot of these companies is that at the end of the day, you know, they're making hardware more available. You know, I mean, not being funny as Nick Bressett on there, you know, AMC make a really nice one for less than 100 quid. You know, there's discount codes available. There's all sorts of things available that, you know, can help you buy an original legit item rather than putting your hands and trust in a much inferior item, because, you know, that's exactly what they are. They are inferior items. People want to use them. That's fair enough, but please, you know, do make sure that you check them over first. You know, you don't want any arcing or anything else. Certainly don't want any blowing up. But, you know, just make sure that you know what you put in your front teeth in, as it were.
That's exactly what you are doing, putting your front teeth on the line.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
that's the only thing I'll say about it. I know people use them. I don't agree with them, but I'm not certainly not going to knock anybody that does use one. But have a look around, man. You know, there's plenty of sales going on. There's a lot of these high-end items that are, you know, coming down drastically in price. a lot of new companies popping up that are making these things affordable. It doesn't mean that the quality's been skimped on, because it certainly hasn't. There are the same mods that, not being funny, not too long ago were a £200 mod. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and
there's many mechs under £100 now. Many mechs are under 100 now. If you look around.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to push a brand, but I use that. That Mech Life Arclist was one of my favorite mods, and I own a lot of expensive mech mods. And something about that mod, I really liked it. It was, constant contact button, and it hit really good, 21,700, and I paid $60. Like, you can find a good mech mod for a good price. You don't have to buy one that's going to blow up in your face. That's the chance you take when you start rocking clones.
Don't get me wrong. We're not saying that all clones are going to explode. Heaven forbid they don't. But is there that potential there?
Yeah.
A lot of these mods that we use, they've been tested, they've been put through paces. They've been designed to not do that, used with the right care and attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Some of the, there's tests out there that can show the density of metals, the makeup of your metals, and everything else that these things are being made of. And some of it, when you look at it, is actually quite scary. I wouldn't want to be putting my front teeth in trust.
Michael Harris saying he got a mech and RDA for £24. That was actually the Ceres Vape Cavalry, I believe, that Michael has. Yeah. And that's another cracking kit, which is super cheap.
Yeah.
Oh, they are.
And it is. Hang on. I haven't used mine for a while, but I've got one.
Yeah.
I've
got all the Ceres. There you go. There's two of them there. Chris has got his as well. Absolutely cracking mechs with an RDA for about 30 quid now.
They're a banging bit of kit, and to be fair, they look nice. They hit well enough.
Mm-hmm.
That is proof in itself that there is no excuse.
No.
So don't trust something that's going to be, a potential hazard when you can have this, and if used right and if used properly and everything else, you'll be a hell of a lot safer.
The only single mod that I've actually got, and I actually do like the single coil on that single coil. Finish up.
Did I miss something there?
Yeah, I just heard single coil.
Not only Alex Birds, not only did they not give them the original makers any revenue, let's not forget they don't come with any of the original manufacturer's warranty.
Nope.
Not being funny.
There you go.
Anybody puts a warranty on their bit of kit, they're standing behind that kit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just something I wanted to bring up and get your guys' feedback and the feedback of the league as well, because I was just amazed that this company was doing this, and blatantly on a group as well. It was just I couldn't believe my eyes, and it ended up in quite a heated argument.
I mean, I remember this company from a while ago, and they were shipping off Warhead RDAs, and the 510 pin was that long, and you screwed it all the way into your mod. There was about that much of a gap at the bottom where you can't screw the battery in. It's like, what the hell? So if you unscrewed it and then screwed the batteries in so it was flush, there was a gap about that big from the top of the RDA, from the bottom of the RDA to the top of the mod. Absolutely ridiculous. But that, was it a second?
Vaping with Vic just hit it on the head. That is against counterfeits, but clone is a very grey area now.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
that's because everyone's doing a fucking AIO, and they all are very similar. Like I've got like 4 in my shop. You can put them side by side, and I can cover the logo, and you wouldn't be able to pick out. They're just all very similar.
I just say, R&D, you've got a banging deal there. That is a cracking deal.
But it shows that it can be done. It shows it can be done.
Gee.
No, not being funny. He's got that 15 quid. There's people out there paying 20, 25 quid for a clone.
There you go.
I know eSig 1 was banging them out really cheap last week, and I'm guessing that's where Aaron May got that from. Little plug there for eSig 1. Hello, guys.
But you know what? Fair play to them. You know what I mean? If they can do that, it's helping a vapor out. It's, well, not just a vapor, but plenty of vapors. You know, it's one of them.
Mm.
You know, hats off to them.
Yeah, Mike Harris. That's a really good price for it, and it is a solid little mod, to be fair.
Yeah, there you go. eSig 1. I thought it would have been. It was banging out really cheap last week. There we go. Vic's going to
bring up an
expand. Evening, Vic, by the way. I hope you're well.
Yep. Let's have it, Vic.
Here we are on my classic argument. Are you ready?
You're driving a car.
Yeah, Chris, read it to yourself, mate. Hey.
That's the thing. I mean, there's clones of everything out there. I mean, in the industry that I work in, which I won't go into too much. I mean, everybody just copies everybody's idea. So, company comes up with an idea, everyone copies it. Or they buy the product off of them to do the same thing because they can't do it themselves. So, or they don't want to invest the money. So, hold on, this company's got this great idea. We'll all do that. That makes sense. So it kind of works out the same. The clone argument's a bit different.
But we won't do it just as well. Make it cheaper.
That's it.
Right, I think that's enough clone shit.
I hope Rabbit's got a
all right, I was about to go again.
Go on, then. No, go on.
I was just going to say, I suppose it's different when a company is claiming that it's selling the seconds of a company.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's them trying to legitimize a clone.
Yeah.
When it's quite clearly not the case. That was my biggest issue over all of it. Clone-wise, I started with clones. I fully admit it. My first mech was a clone. My first RDAs were clones. They're not now, but there was. And everyone starts somewhere.
It's free.
Not all of them, Tippy, and you know that. And I'm not going to buy any further than that.
You only have to buy it once, man.
But we see it in groups quite a lot as well, where people are selling something that's authentic and it's not, it's a clone, you know. And
yeah, that pisses me off. Yeah.
Lots of people wouldn't be able to tell, but there are people, I mean, I'm not saying, and there are people that can, you know, guarantee an authenticity of something, but it can be difficult, you know. Some of these clones are real good, but there's always generally a way to tell, and not everyone can tell that, you know. There was how many clone goons were they going around for years? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or clone
a classic example is the Apop. How many clones have you seen?
And you know, I've looked at him in the past and almost gone, oh yeah, that's a good. And then you look at it, and I look at it closely, and I'm like, no, that's serial number. It's a clone. And I've told it to somebody, and they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Sorry, like, but they thought it secondhand, and they thought it was legit. You know, so it's difficult.
But then it goes back to companies like this Mex Direct saying that these are seconds from the actual company. So they might buy it from them thinking, oh, it's a second, it's a genuine product, it's just a bit blend somewhere. They then sell it on to the next man going, yeah, it's genuine, I bought it from this guy. And you said, oh, yeah, it was a second from the manufacturer. So that's how it kind of snowballs.
I mean, the other thing I've heard is I have heard that the Chinese manufacturers who make some of these mechs for some of these companies legitimately do. I have heard in the past that they might be on the side making more and selling them off cheap. Now, I don't know how true that is, but I've heard that a couple of times. I need to do a bit more research into it, but I have heard that as well. So
yeah, I've heard that as well. And then you get people like Nick here, who originally bought a clone before buying a legit one. So he's bought the clone, tried it out, liked it, and then gone and bought the real one. That side of it, I get. I really do.
Yeah.
And yeah, Vic's making a comment about there's some good clone companies out there. There actually is. Vic names SXK. They make a decent clone. They do make a decent clone. But
They made a company off of cloning a billet box and Bantam box, and do you know what I mean?
yeah, I've seen them.
And they're considered decent. You know, people out there do like them. So, you know, the billet box is an expensive bit of kit.
Yeah, I love a billet.
Well, look at what you're using now.
To be honest with you, I don't even think they ripped off the billet box. I think they ripped off the dot mod, which ripped off the billet box.
No, I just wanted to see that mod again. I actually do quite like.
I like that.
It does look just like the dot mod.
Yeah, it's bigger than the dot mod. But I tell you what,
That's what they always say.
For 40 odd quid, it's really good. I just hope they release an RBA section for it. But the Nautilus coils are pretty good. You know, I think everyone.
But as you say, what was that? 40 quid.
40 quid, yeah, just over 40 quid.
Yeah, I mean that's a really nice looking piece of kit for 40 quid.
And it's nice in the pocket, and it's, you know, I was tempted to get what Paul's got there, the Narada, but I thought I'd try this out and really impressed.
Yeah,
And that cost me 32 quid with the RBA section.
Yeah, that is nice. That looks really nice.
But at the end of the day, they're all technically a copy of a design that was available first. So
yeah.
Vic's just commented how many companies copied the old Nemi Max. There must have been.
No.
A lot of companies cloned that bugger. A lot of companies.
So come on then, Chris. Let's put Chris on the spot. Have you got a subject you want to talk about this week?
Not particularly. I think something. It's only like a passing as I was reading an article. Something about the UK Army actually banning vaping for those that are in their basic training. And that, like, but I don't know too much about it. If any of you know about it, it was literally just a little article, tiny little bit, and that was it. And I was like,
I didn't even hear about it.
Well, you in America, this is like the UK. Go on.
Yeah, going back to the American side earlier, I thought I'd seen an article a few weeks ago where they were actually going to ban the flags as well in the American Army. Was that right, Rabbit?
I couldn't hear you at the end of that.
Yeah, say that again, Zippy. You went quiet.
I read somewhere. I read that much stuff. It's just like some of it bounces in, some of it just falters throughout the years, man. You know what I mean? It's one of them. And if I remember rightfully, I seen somewhere that the American Army with the flavour bans, they were also going to introduce them into the army with the vaping.
Well, yeah, they actually started the flavor ban in the military. Like, I think it was like 2 or 3 months ago. They were talking about doing it, and then recently they were talking about if they do raise the age to 21. That's what we were talking about earlier when you popped out for a minute. That they're going to make it to where if you're it doesn't matter if you're 18 to 21. If you're in the military, then you can still vape if you choose to. Yeah. Which we were talking about is basically just an entire contradiction of what they've been saying, which is that kids shouldn't, that kids are getting a hold of it and it's causing their brains not to mature. But it's okay for our soldiers, apparently. So, very interesting.
Right. So I think we're coming up to the hour mark. So, Vinny,
we are,
and I think now would be a good time to.
Yeah, you put me back on the controls now, haven't you? Because Rabbit's really wicked. So
I just built this RDA and wicked it. That single core, I wasn't
let me know when you get finished.
A big enough hit.
Right.
You'll be waiting a while there.
Details of the hampers first. There's going to be 3 hampers. Here's what's in them. There you go. Hamper 1, a grip grenade from Immortal Mods, courtesy of Josh down there. Thank you very much, Josh, Cloud Island, and Immortal. Next one, we have a Vupu drag kit with juice in Hamper 2. That's coming courtesy through Sub-Zero coils via me. And Hamper 3, we have a Vinci pod system with juice coming through Zippy and Electrovape. So they're the 3 hampers that we are going to be rewarding our leaguers with. Now, what you have to do. Here's one I made earlier. First code needs to be emailed. And it is Vinny is the real Santa. You need to email this to the LXV Vapers email at gmail.com along with a screenshot of your channel subscription. And then once the link to this show is on the LXV Facebook page, you need to share that. Now, we'll just say this is just the first round of entering. There will be another code on next week's show, and you have until 9 a.m. next Saturday morning to get your first codes in. Otherwise, they will not be accepted, and you need both sets of codes to get entry to the next stage.
Oh, we're going to make you work.
Yes, it's a grip net.
Yeah, big prize.
It's quite a big prize.
Make it easy, man. We're not making this shit easy.
There's quite a lot of juice involved. Yeah, no microwaves this one. Well, maybe.
And you will
maybe.
be asked if you win a grip nade, be prepared. You are going to be asked.
Yeah, if you've got knowledge
Questions
of mechanical
with
models.
regards to it, because we're not just going. We're not these are
Advanced
kits that
Oh yeah.
So you are going to be asked questions. So be prepared. And if you can't answer them questions and you don't know enough, then I'm sorry, you're not going to get it. That's one thing we will make clear. We're not
just be prepared.
Of somebody else.
And now everyone's jumped off to send emails.
We're now talking to ourselves.
Nick Bradley Sutton straight in on it, look.
How many of the views have we got?
At the moment, we're 20 on my screen.
Okay.
You can do this after the show.
Yeah, please do it after.
How long have they got to email that first bit?
Until 9 a.m. Saturday morning next week.
So you've got just under a week. So
Relax. Don't do it.
Prepare yourself for the next round.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Be prepared.
It's all right. I've had
Andy
a week
Carruthers,
surrounded by fucking snowflakes and snowmen this week, so I'm pretty.
You brought your arm.
Do you want to build a snowman? Yeah. I like those.
Now,
He ripped its head off.
Huh?
He ripped its head off.
His body's there, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't see the body. I just saw an head floating.
Jesus, we will upset the snowflakes making comments like that. I'll be bombarded with, anti-snowman bullies. Nick Bradley Sutton in there like swimwear. No doubt that you were going to be, man. I know exactly what Nick's hoping for.
Yeah, there's at least 20 odd others at the moment that are open for the same thing as well. I should have brought mine on. It's in the house. So, yeah.
Obviously, I was going to send this to you to send, but
well, there it is, folks.
And I am quite happy to send this. I will quite happily pay worldwide shipping if it goes worldwide, not a problem. So,
Josh, can we take it out of the box?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Take it out of the box, man. Let's
it's
zoom in
open
on
worldwide. Josh. It's not just UK. It will be worldwide. There we are. Let's
zoom
Josh.
in on Josh.
I'm doing it. The rabbits.
Come on.
Yeah, rabbits throwing in some juice too.
Yeah, hold on. Damn it, Chupper. Good evening. It's coming. It's coming.
This this I ordered. I paid for it myself. So, but I've not used it. It's brand new, unfired. It's also number 58, so it's quite a nice low serial number.
Wow.
I don't know if you can see that.
Which is slightly lower than he thought it was.
I'll let you know now. It's currently the lowest serial number Immortal Mod I own, but it's got
Yeah, right.
and it's got both top backs. So, like I said, brand new, unfired.
Awesome prize. Reward.
Reward. Yeah. Oh man, I wish I could be rewarded with that.
Yeah, I bet you do.
And obviously, they don't
You know what
give
the really
you.
good thing is as well?
There's your authenticity. Look, number 58.
Awesome.
Nice.
Do you know what I'm really gutted about? I used to have a Siege, and I didn't think anything of it at the time, but it's the number 35, and like a fool, I got rid of it.
Dude, I've had unserialized
I had the
stuff.
opportunity to get it
prototypes.
back as well, but sadly I couldn't get it. Didn't have the cash at the time. Gutted.
I've had a few nice mints over the time. Unserialized prototypes a lot. And I miss them.
And you know, as it's coming from me, I might even chuck in a beer as well.
It's been that kind of day at work, eh, Josh?
It's always that kind of day at work, mate. That's good fun.
Yeah.
Been a good day.
Right. Something I want to talk about. Have we got all this with the hampers and everything out of the way now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Something I want to talk about. And, you know, for me, it's quite a serious subject. And one that I'm seeing popping up more and more and more in vape groups and stuff like that is the mental health side. That I'm seeing a lot of people in vape groups actually coming out with and approaching the subject, which is, let's face it, quite often a taboo subject. You know what I mean? Now, I've got no problem in talking about it. I suffer with it myself. I know a lot of people that do. But as I say, you know, it's something that's coming forward. And, you know, a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing in replies and responses to posts and stuff has been quite positive. So I just wanted to say, you know, fair play. It takes a lot to come forward with some stuff. Some of the things I've been reading about. And, you know, at the same time, if anybody has got something that they're particularly struggling with, you know, my inbox for people like that is always open. Like I say, I struggle with it myself. It's not nice. But, you know, yeah, my inbox is always open. And so, you know what I mean?
Yep, same here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's as I say, it's not something that a lot of people come out with openly. But as I am seeing it a lot more and more in groups now, and it's actually nice that groups are actually taking part in it and actually, you know, contributing, and it shows that it's a lot more common than we take for granted. So, you know, you're never alone out there. There are people to help. There are ways to get help and stuff. So, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that.
Yeah,
You know,
Especially at this time of year.
Yeah.
It's always difficult around the holidays.
No time of the year is good, but, you know, especially at the minute, like I say, I'm seeing it more and more coming up in groups. You know, it's something that it doesn't take a lot to make somebody smile and know that, you know, they're getting up in the morning, it's been work. So, yeah. I hope it continues, and like I say, my inbox is open.
Yeah, and the LXV email at any time.
Yeah.
We're all manning it all different times of the day.
You will get.
Because what you need to remember about the LXV email as well is all those guys are UK time, Rabbit's 5 hours behind us, so if we don't answer, you can guarantee Rabbit will pick it up.
24/7.
Yeah, I'm failing that.
Yep.
My inbox is always open. If I'm on shift, I'll let you know, but I will be around. I will answer, especially with things like that.
Definitely.
You know, the best advice that I can give is when you wake up in the morning, what's your focus for the day? You know, what do you expect to achieve at the end of the day? And when you do get to the end of the day, look back at it. Take the positives out of it, man. Don't look for the negatives.
Definitely.
It's all too easy to look for negatives, especially, you know, when you're not feeling good about yourself. But I've had a shit week this week. You know what? I'm still kicking. You know, it's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I got guys around me, you lot, that help me and stuff. So yeah, you know, that's just something personal from me. I don't.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. I fully back that up, Zippy, completely.
It's okay not to be okay. Yeah, it is. On a lighter note, I'm more interested in how long you have to vape before you grow your vape beard. My beard's not coming back. My beard is not coming back. I'll give up on that. It's one of them. I'm still suffering from PTSD from Tracy Hagen. I have bipolar, social anxiety, and PTSD. Every day is another struggle. Keeps going. Exactly. You know, we all have focuses. We all have things around us that don't make you, but they show you that there's a need for you to get through that day.
Yeah.
And there's a reason to look at tomorrow. You know, I don't make plans into next week. I don't make plans for the day, man. You know, but you know, if you're going to set yourself a focus for tomorrow, man, just make sure it's manageable. Just make sure it's realistic. Don't live outside your boundaries, man. Don't expect too much from yourself. That way you can never be disappointed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I also deal with depression. I don't talk about it a lot, but people don't understand how rough this time of year is for me. Me and my wife, we lost our daughter 5 years ago. And it was actually this, recent, like it was like really recent. So every time the holidays come around, it's really rough for us. And 2 years ago, I lost my mom, so it just made it worse and worse. But to shine light on it, what seems to help me the most is these guys will tell you I try to stay as positive as I can about everything, regardless of what it is, even just the small things. Like I try to focus on turning everything I possibly can into a positive thing. So no matter what it is, if I got to drive somewhere, if I got to help a customer, if I got to clean something, like the smallest things, I try to find something positive in every single thing I do. And it helps me push to the next thing that I need to get done. And I'm really bad. I've had a rough past. I don't like talking about my life a lot. I'm really bad about that too. So it's hard for me to even talk about it. But I have I've kind of built this wall up around myself, especially when it comes to emotions and feelings. My wife has been kind of a godsend to me because she's broken down a lot of it and helped me open up and be more, more open about things like that. So she's definitely helped out with it, but I'm really bad about closing off. And if I get into that depressing, that negative state, I'll like shut down and you won't hear from me for a while. And it's not anyone else's problem. It's not that I'm upset with anyone, because I mean, Zippy knows more than most people. If I'm upset with somebody, I usually just tell them and get it out of the way. I feel like that's kind of how I was raised, man. Like that. if you've got an issue with somebody, you should deal with it right away. Get it fucking done and move on and get past it. And I've actually made some best friends by doing that. Like, don't let that shit sit and fester and become something that's ruining your world, because it will. You got to get through that shit. You got to reach out. You can't be scared to talk to friends and family. You just got to fucking stay positive and keep pushing forward and do something good for other people. Yeah, just if anyone ever needs anything, man, the LXV is always here, every one of us. And you can email us, you can text us, you can message the page, whatever you got to do to get a hold of us. Don't let that shit suck you down. Don't let it fucking hurt your life. Like, focus on something positive. Go help somebody else. Even if you're feeling down, help somebody else, because it'll make you feel better. Just try to push positivity. I promise it will make things better on your end. It always has for me, every single time.
Tracy Hagan, Zippy tomorrow will be dropping the kids off to their classroom and going to teach other people's kids maths. Fair play to you, man. That's, I don't know how big that class is, but over, most classes are like 30, so that's 30 differences to lives that you're making tomorrow. Anybody that knows me knows I had a pretty shitty upbringing, one thing and another. I was a manic depressive from the age of 13 through till 33. I'd say, I don't know how to say unsuccessful or suicide attempts. I hit rock bottom at the age of 33. I can say the 3rd of January. I went through a Christmas and New Year, and that's a flop, for want of a better word. But I took that as my start in life, if you know what I mean. It's come a long way since then. I'm even more, I'm a lot more positive these days, you know what I mean? I've recently started at the gym a couple of months back, and that has been massive mental health. New focuses, new drives, and the whole outlook of my life has changed, where I'm looking at what's important, what don't matter. You know what I mean? If it doesn't, if I'm looking at something and it don't matter, it didn't need to be there. But just going back to Danny Chupa, that about questioning yourself. Never question yourself. If you're waking up in the morning and your intentions are good on the day, why are you questioning yourself? You don't need to. If you can go out there and you can make a difference to one life, two lives, however many, your purpose is served, and that's what it's all about. Everybody's got a purpose.
I wanted to comment on something that Alex Bird said.
I was about to bring that up.
Don't ever feel bad about needing to talk about anything, man. Don't ever feel like you're judged, because I promise you, even if you say, think about it. You got to think about it in the most, the worst possible thing that could happen. So what if somebody judged you? That's going to last maybe a couple minutes, man. Like, if they judge you, if they make the mistake of judging you and they make and look at you wrong or negative light, it's only going to last for a couple minutes. Get it out. If you let that shit sit inside you and you let it fester, it's gonna slowly grow into something that you can't get out. It's gonna slowly grow into something that's gonna be so hard to get out, and then you take a chance of losing yourself to that. You don't want to do that. If you ever have anything that's eating at you, anything that you feel like you just can't let go of, find someone to talk to about it. I promise you, it will make it so much easier. I mean, and I'm talking from a recovering addict. It's something I learned through recovery on how to let things get out of me, so that way I can heal and I can fix them. But it goes with everything. It's not just for addicts. This is life. Like, these are life lessons. If you let that shit sit and fester, I promise you, it builds up and it starts to become something real, and it grows strength. if you destroy it and you get it out there and you get help and let people actually know about it and talk to you about it, it will disappear and you will no longer have to deal with it. And I'm telling you from experience.
It helps, man. And seriously, you know, there's no shame in asking for help. You know, it's one of them. It's got to be done. I live life by the 3 F's, what I call the 3 F's. If you're not happy with something, fix it. If you can't fix it, fuck it. And once you've done either of them, forget it.
Forget it.
100%.
Honestly, man, it works for me.
I like that.
You know what I mean? 3 F's, man. Fix it, fuck it, forget it. Because life's too short, man.
Damn right it is.
Yep.
Wow.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Nobody ever said this world was going to be easy. But, you know, there's enough people out there to make you feel shit about yourself. You don't need to make yourself feel shit on top.
Yeah. That's definitely true.
You know what I mean? And if you've got that sort of negativity in your life from people, fuck them up.
Yeah.
Simple.
Fuck them.
Nobody has the right to judge you.
No.
You know what I mean? It's one of them. The only person who can judge you is the person you believe in for yourself. Yeah. If you judge them, it speaks more about them than you. Yeah.
Hey, Alex, no problem, brother. If you need to talk to somebody, you hit us up, man. For check it out.
Yeah, man.
Just say,
Like I say,
you can speak to me. You've got Vinny. Wrong way, that way.
The
No,
I think
it's a safe place.
I won't apologise for bringing the tone of the show by talking about it. But
No,
I think
this is an important issue.
I think it's something that's important, and as Paul quite rightly said, around this time of year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody should be feeling alone at this time of the year. You know, so it's one of them. There are people out there that care. There are people that understand. Me, like I say, I understand a lot more than most.
And you're definitely not alone.
So,
We got you.
You help me at no end.
Exactly, man. There's always
You know?
things that can be done. You know what I mean? So, like I
We're
say,
all
wake
here
up
for
tomorrow,
each
look
other.
at what your purpose is, look at what your focus is for the day, and then at the end of the day, look back on the positives. And if you didn't get something done, you didn't get something done. You know what I mean? But don't make the thing of trying to do something and then feel bad about yourself. If you think you're gonna fail at something, don't do it. Wait till you've got time to do it. You know what I mean? Lucy Foot, love to all who need it. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? It's one of them. It's more common than most people think, and there's definitely no shame. You know what I mean? I'm always about.
Can't all be robots.
I mean, I've got to say, I've made some of my best and closest friends through this industry.
Oh yeah.
Who you know, in a time of need, I don't even have to ask. They're there before I even know I need them to be there. Does that make sense? So,
yeah.
I've just put my personal Facebook up in the group, so in the chat. So, feel free to have me. You want to chat? I'm always around, unless I'm asleep, because I won't wake up. But when I'm awake, I'll get back to you.
Exactly, man. Fortunately, it's not always that simple. I've always been the one who took on everyone else's problems and helped fix them. Amazing how fast people disappear when the table's turned. Yeah, it is. But you know what? Don't stress on it. You know what I mean? It's one of them. Can you bring that up again, please?
Which one? Sorry.
Tracy Hagen's. You know, I do that as well. I mean, I try and help as many people as I can. You know what I mean? And I've often found that people will sort of disappear when you need them, and I don't put that down to disappearing because they don't want to help. I put a lot of that down to them disappearing because they don't want to face up to what they're doing. You know what I mean? So, you know, and I found that to be the case several times. But, you know, there are people who won't disappear.
Guess who don't disappear?
Yeah.
These
I
guys,
certainly won't.
no.
At the end of the day, if I can help one person through, that's my purpose. You know what I mean? It's one of them. You know, like I say, we're not all the same. We are different. We all have different things to face. But you know, the diagnosis, the label that we're given is all the same. You know what I mean? So, you know, don't ever be afraid to talk about it. But that's my little
I mean,
for the week.
I get labelled often as a snowflake because I'm a tad sensitive, shall we say? And that's just my way. My way of dealing with things is I let my emotions out. It's something I've always done, and it's just me, and it's my way how I deal with it. And yeah, I've got no shame in saying I cry quite often. It's just how I deal with it. Everyone's different. Everyone deals with pressures and stresses of life differently. All I would say is try not to bottle it up as well, because that doesn't help. Yeah. It really doesn't help.
Bottling up only exasperates it, man.
You've got to let things out.
Really
And I hope you're listening to that, Chris.
Yes, I've heard.
Yeah, don't bottle things up. Let your feelings be known, dude.
I mean, I haven't told many people about this. As like you lot may have known, my mum died when I was pretty much young, very young. I never once cried over that, ever.
I know that.
Even to this day, even at a funeral, I didn't cry. I don't know why. It's just one of them things. It took me a long time to get over the fact that she did die. It took me a long time to actually accept people in my life without pushing them away.
I understand. Sorry, Chris. Sorry. Well, I was going to say I understand exactly what you mean. I lost my dad when I was young, and I did the exact same thing. I didn't cry. I just thought I had to be there for my family, so I didn't cry. I just turned into the man of the house, even though I had an older brother, but he was in bits. And he was like, he was supposed to be the hard, tough one in my family, and he was broken. So I didn't, and I bottled it up, and it ruined me for years. It took me a long time to actually come to terms with that.
I know that pain, Josh. I know that pain all too well.
So, but the best advice I could give, I wish if I had to go back and do it again, I'd get it out straight away, just get it done with and deal with it. And I'd probably be a very different person now, but it would be the best thing to do. So, if you are feeling like shit, just get it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Get it out.
Read that guys that Alex had just said. I don't think I can actually read that.
Hang on, someone on the comment. There's Ruth guys.
I don't think I could read that.
I was having a really bad day. I had so much fun on the show. Alex Birdsman, I'm glad you did. You know, it's one of them. We can all hide behind, you know, curtains, and we can all hide behind a mask. It's only when we take that mask off, people see the real you and the real us. You know, I'm a complete clown. You know what I mean? You know,
just a little bit.
I live, but that's. But you know what? I mean, some people say that, you know, the clown in the room is often the sort of saddest person in the room, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I certainly ain't the saddest. I definitely have my days, but you know, it's one of them. I'm turning my life around for the better, and I mean, this week's been shit. I mean, simple fact. Nobody likes to see anybody progress. Nobody likes to see anybody better themselves. You know what I mean? And I dropped the status this week, and I was in a bit of a shitty place. And then, you know what? I spoke to a few people, and they were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, "You know what?" And I listened, and you know, it took me a little while to accept. But the biggest fuck you can give to people that want to put you down and want to sort of allow their own, you know, shitty feelings to come and affect yours, is to get right back up in their face and turn around and say, you know what, keep going, man, and just keep walking. You know what I mean? Because
Head held high, just fucking do it.
You know, yeah, exactly. Hold your head high, turn around and say, you know what, I thought I'd got it bad, but I feel sorry for a lot of people out there that want to ridicule and stuff like that. But I mean, that's because, to me, you know, as the song once said, you know, it's harder to live with the truth about yourself than it is to live about the lies of other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Michael Harris, you know me. You have my inbox anytime, mate. You need to drop me a message. You do that.
Definitely, man. You know, and who knows? We can all make, you know, we can all make a difference to somebody's day.
One little act of kindness can change a whole day.
Fact.
Yeah.
Massively, 100%. How many times have I had a shit day and someone's just gone like that and it's just changed my day around completely? Is unbelievable.
Let's not forget the other fact. It actually takes less muscles in the face to smile than it does to
That is very true.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna smile.
Yeti, good evening. Where was you the other week for the scavenger?
Yeah, man. It better be entered in for the next one.
Did you chicken out, Yeti?
No, he did tell me he'd also got a prior engagement with a party. So I think we were a bit late before he had to leave. So Alex in the baddie. So yeah, but Yeti, get on the next one, man.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be online with the next one. That I watched it the day after, and my God, that was hilarious. First thing I saw was
that was
dressed as a bloody bear. I'm like, the hell is he wearing?
Hey, I wish I had it on tonight. I'm freezing.
Yeah, and then turning up with a microwave. I'm like, what the hell? I'm just glad he didn't come up with the cooker.
He nailed it, man. He really nailed that. Him and Ryan Fro, you know, I've got so much appreciation for that night, man. That fucking set me up for the week. You know, but I'm glad that what we do does make a difference for some.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was the whole idea.
Both of the guys that was on the scavenger hunt, I know, have issues and ongoing issues as well.
Yeah.
And to see them guys doing that last week and having such a laugh and everything was.
Yeah. You show me somebody who doesn't have an issue, and I'll show you a liar.
Yeah.
100%.
Because we've all fucking got them.
Yeah,
we have.
Well, everyone's got to remember, you may be in a shit place, but everybody's got their things to deal with, and you know, the favours will get returned. You might chat it out to them, but they might want to chat it out back, and just by reaching out to somebody because you're not doing great might actually sort somebody else out at the same time. So, you know, we've all got our own issues to deal with, and yeah, don't hide them in. Chat them out.
And worst case, if somebody's having a worse day than me, fucking hell, that'll cheer me up now, end.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
Jesus. Yeah. You know, so as I say, we're always about it, man. It's one of them.
Yeah.
We know exactly what's what. You know. So
anyway,
right. On to the next subject. On to the next subject. But as I say, I felt that was one that was important to cover. You know what I mean? It was.
Yeah. I think it's been something that's been on the back burner for a while for us to talk about.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's something that we all pretty much on here have dealt with ourselves or our loved ones have. and things like that. And looks like Rabbit is lowering the tone suitably.
Yes.
Trust Rabbit.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Do you know what? I love going into a vape shop and just chatting shit. I'll sit in a vape shop for like 2 hours. Just
And you come onto a vape show and chat shit.
I chat shit all the time. Man.
I pretend I do the same, but I don't really say much.
I'm from the West Country. That's all we do. We just talk shit.
Well, there you go. there you go. I'm saying nothing. So, right, come on then. Who's had vape mail this week? Vinny, you're bound to have had some.
Oh, I had in this week. Well, I've got the atom.
Oh, look,
from
he's had that much. He's got to think about what to bring.
I haven't got it.
I had to think what's come this week and what come this week. Piss off.
I'm still waiting.
It depends when it gets posted out, you see.
Oh, are you having that problem as well?
I am.
I mean, I'm not going to mention no names, but you know, I'm assuming that he could be watching.
Paul's just copying.
Rabbit, my bad, man. Rabbit, my bad. I know you're
you
looking at
can't
me
talk
with that look,
with me.
It's one of them. I've had shit to deal with this week that I wasn't expecting. Going off what Rabbit spoke of, I went to Child Lost page on but yes, I'm happy for everybody to reach out.
Leave it.
There's a comment down below you might want to put up.
Yeah, I just what Lucy Foot's written there. Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Lucy, as you all know, is my sister, and what she does for the angel mums and stuff like that. Awesome respect to her, man. So
That is amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
Fantastic.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know that she did that myself. We will. I think we may do something in the future for that. Let's see what we can do in the future.
If we can, I'd certainly appreciate it. I know that the angel mums and dads and stuff like that, they certainly will. So yeah.
Lucy's your sister?
Yeah, Lucy's my sister.
Oh, now I know. Now I know where all the good looks went. Okay.
Yeah. It's funny. It's quite funny because she looks almost exactly the same as me. It's quite scary.
No, she don't.
Our dad was a looker, man. What can I say? You know what I mean? I'm just thankful we didn't follow our mum.
Oh.
I'm just thankful we didn't follow our mum's side.
Yeah.
But no, on a serious note, Lucy, you know, I know that. Much love to JJ. You know what I mean? And yet he's my nephew.
Jesus, Zippy, you don't got all your family here, or what?
Our show audience.
It's the only fans I've got. You know what I mean? So, much love to him. And Richard Smith is my brother, by the way. But one thing I will say is Yeti and Richard Smith are both going to get back into vaping. So Yeti vapes already. Like most of us, he's had his setbacks, but he's making a real push for the new year. We're getting his stuff sorted, and also Richard Smith.
Is Alex your cousin in the vape shed your uncle?
No. The vape shed's just somebody who tags along. You know what I mean? It's one of them.
Let's not go there.
I know one thing. Thank God for Zippy's family. We got tons of viewers.
Well, told you, man.
Hey,
without me,
the rest of you should be taking a note out of Zippy's book here. You know, where's your family's in the chat, eh?
Hang on, Paul's missus was here last week in the comments.
She was here as well. She was here earlier as well.
I can't see the comments, man, because somebody doesn't put them up. So,
like, seriously, I've got the world's biggest. You don't want them here.
You've got the world's biggest what?
I've got 54 first cousins. 54 first cousins. Who has that many first cousins?
Well, you live down in Watford, don't you? I mean, it's all sort of. You know, I'm not going to go there.
No. My mum was always like, "Oh, Josh, I was chatting to your cousin Kim the other day." I was like, "I've got a cousin called Kim. I didn't know that. It's great. Thanks. Awesome."
Yeti, you are going to be sorted out for Christmas, man. Trust me, you're not going to be disappointed.
See what Santa Claus brings you.
I will be very interested. I will. Yeti and Richard Smith are going to be two of our success stories, I hope. By way of what we can do for them. So I'll be following those two very, very closely to see how they get on.
Yeah, we want updates. We want updates.
Yeah, we want to know how they're getting along.
Yeah, definitely, man. Both of them have said they're going to give us updates and stuff. So who knows? They might even chuck a cloud out on the.
Anyway, back to vape mail. Just you're at them this week, then, Vinny? Is it or?
This week that's just gone, yes, I believe so. I can't think. I obviously got the Matrix quite recently, which I reviewed quite recently. Oh, I got the Tesla 6, the Punk mod as well, which I haven't got with me. It's in the house. But yes.
That was a good bit of kit, man.
Yeah, they didn't listen, though. You know, I went and sat with them at that expo and we had the whole product development thing.
Yes.
They haven't taken it on board at all, but other things might be happening between me and Mr. Rabbit here. We're working on something with Tesla 6, so we'll see how that develops.
Oh. I also speak to Tesla.
Do you really?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the cars.
Yeah, the cars.
You're not. No.
Him and Elon are like that.
Yeah. Trust me, it's not all about you, you know.
You're the only one that says it is, Zippy.
Hey, look at the rules. Look at the rules of the comments. You know, Vinny is the real Santa. All about Vinny.
Yeah, it's not Zippy.
Couldn't have just been, you know, somebody random. It all had to be Vinny.
Yeah.
I love winding him up.
Oh, is that wound up his frozen look?
See. Of all the things he could put on there, what does he put?
Vinny.
Yeah.
It's all about Vinny.
It's all about me.
Come on. Come at me. What you got? Nothing. But no, I mean, I'm on the subject of vape mail. I am hoping for some this week. No.
This new shiny.
Oh, what we got there, Rabbit?
Ooh. That's the new RDA from Coil Turd.
Nice.
I got that vape.
Is that the one you picked up the other day?
What's the deck on it like, bud? What kind of deck's it got on it? I've not seen that.
It's very different.
Ooh, I like different.
Hold on.
John, I will not put people to that horrible site.
It's a single coil.
Single
coil. Put it up on full screen, will you? Put it up full screen.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Oh, we don't get this problem with Rabbit.
Where am you?
He doesn't know the keyboard shortcuts, does he? That's the problem.
Shortcuts?
Hey, that looks tidy, man.
That's cool.
I like that.
All you need to know now is learn how to start building.
Perfect.
I'm assuming it's a wraps coil in there.
I do like that.
It looks
single coil.
Nice.
Single coil.
I've never
I'll tell you what, I do like the single coil though.
Every once in a while, I like it for flavor. I can run it about 50, 60 watts, and my batteries last all day.
There's a lot to be said about a single coil.
Yeah, if you do it right, it's a good hit. Watch this.
You're going to get a Rewick on then?
Looks enjoyable.
I definitely just burn it.
See, told you. What? See, now if you'd have done it properly.
Oh, why have I missed that? Oh, I love that comment by Ryan.
Brilliant.
Ryan, I feel your pain. I went to Ireland when I was about 16 for a family reunion, and spent the whole evening chatting to this girl. And then next day went to the family reunion, and she was there. She's my cousin. Luckily, nothing happened.
Wow.
What the fuck is going on right now?
I have no idea.
Everyone's
I know,
talking
man.
about banging their cousins. This is weird.
No, it's not illegal.
I mean,
I need to send Ryan a bottle of juice
Yeah.
for the comment of the month.
reckon you should tell your funniest dry hit stories.
Oh God.
Well, I don't think any dry heat is actually quite funny, but
Oh, I've got
Well,
one.
I had one last week on that.
yeah, I saw that.
That was
It weren't fucking nice. Jesus.
Hey, I got.
Last week that would have definitely been sent back by now.
Huh?
Didn't you say that was meant to have been back by now?
You ain't giving it back.
No. It is going back, but I've been told I can use it for the next week or two. So, all being well, and the plan will be.
He's keeping it.
No. Be looking to January.
You better,
This
Zippy, you better
ice is
have
going
me
to
on
be
the
being
list.
seen sooner.
Especially
Say
now
again?
it's
You better have me on the list.
Hey, it's not my list. Santa's the real. Vinny's the real Santa, not me.
Hey, Santa,
Yeah.
put me on the list. Okay, I got a good dry hit story. You ready?
Go on out.
Okay, so like three or four years ago, when I was still doing comps and stuff, there was a comp about 3 hours away. I was really excited because this was the first big comp I was going to do, because most of them were like $50 or a gift card or a mod or something, but this one was like a $500 prize. So I was like, holy shit, like this is big time here. So I'm excited. So I get my little mech mod set up. I get all these. I went and bought brand new batteries. I got the perfect build. I practiced for like 2 weeks, and I get out to this comp, and it was with a couple of buddies. And we get out there, and I get my stuff at the table, and they check all the RDAs and stuff. They're like, "You're good." And I was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna change my wicks real quick." So I get my wicks changed and everything, and I put it back on the mod. And right when I'm screwing it down on the mod, they're like calling my name up to the line. I'm like, oh shit. So I turn around, I grab my battery, and I shoved a brand new battery in there, and I ran up to the line. So as you may have noticed, I did not mention grabbing any juice. So I went up to the line back to back, and when I purged, it caught fire. And I inhaled nothing but black smoke.
I'll tell you what.
This isn't an exaggeration. I fucking threw up. I was puking so bad. And everyone was fucking dying laughing like y'all are. And I'm over here with tears pouring out of my eyes. Dude, it was terrifying. I think that might have been the last comp I went to. Like it was really bad.
He didn't want to show back up after that. He's like, can't go back. I cannot go
I'll
back.
tell you
It
what.
scared me into retirement.
I'll tell you what. There is no fear instilling sound like the cotton being dry and that
Oh yeah.
oof of a fireball.
And it shot.
Especially when you're halfway through an inhale and it goes
Oof.
and it's like
I had that on a show. Happened quite recently.
Oh. I can still taste it. It was worse.
Yeti. My funniest involved in our Joy Maxo in the Pluto 120 was stood at the bus stop in mod in pocket while that motherfucker decided he wanted to go full power. Well, I pull it out and the mod had a good old sucking bam, 350 watts. I felt like just deep rotating himself as my lungs collapsed into. I coughed my ass inside out. Little old lady from behind me says, "Oh, brilliant, man!" But you know what? How many of us have actually done that where we've took a mod out of our pocket and it hasn't locked right, or it's my Voopoo drag, one of the very first ones that come out was good for that. It used to have it'd have it'd just go on its own random setting thing. And I was in the end, I put it away. I was like, "That's it, I'm done. I'm never using it again," and I never did.
I was working for a shop about maybe 3 years ago, and a customer came in and they were checking, like coming in to get a new setup, and I can't remember what the mod exactly was, but I was showing them, just trying to show them all the different things on it before we, got it set up and primed the coils and all. And I had the tank was still on it, just like it comes out of the box. And he goes, "I want to see the screen light up." And I'm like, it's your mod. Like, I'll show you all the stuff. So I put the batteries in and stuff. And he grabs the mod and and he starts gagging and coughing. And I'm like, "Did you seriously just burn the new coil out in that mod?" And he's like, "No." And he hands it to me, and the smoke's coming out of the tip. I'm like, "Bro, you hit this mod." And he's like, "Yeah, I did." I'm like, I had to give the poor guy a new coil. I felt so bad.
On another note, though,
I think the worst one I did. I was at a mate's house and I decided to put a new build into my Titan not long after I had it. Decided I was going to use it as RDA, not tank. I think it was like a 0.2 build, something like that, decent low. Put it together, whipped it, then we kind of put it down for a second, so it did something else. Like, I think the door rang or something. Come back, had the cap on it, and I just literally fired it up, just nothing but flames, and I was like, done. No. Literally sit there in tears, laughing at my stupid ass for doing it.
What was you going to say, Josh, before Chris spoke all over you?
I was going to say, that's fine. I'm going to say, worse than a dry hit, though, has got to be doing this, and it. Put your mod down, put the cap off, reduce that. You get distracted. Your wife comes and says hello.
Oh, kissing the coil. Oh, hey!
I actually did that on a live, man. I did a live for a group I was doing, and I was doing. It was kind of a juice review and a bit of a laugh and a bit of a giveaway and stuff. And I'm sat there in the back of my van because I used to do my lives in the back of my van. Right, and I'm sat there and I'm like,
down by the river.
Just outside. Literally just outside the house. It was the only place. You've seen how my lives go. I get the kids walking in and out. So I used to go out in the van, and I'm there on the drive, just sitting in the back of the van, like chumming away. And I'm there, and I'm like, juice is up, and I just carried on talking to the camera, and I got involved in the conversation. I just literally went bang, and I felt the heat across the top of my lip. And I was like, ooh. Luckily, I'd fired it up just before I went to vape on it, and I was like, oh, Jesus, man.
Would this guy do the same that I was in when I first started vaping by any chance? Well, sort of start.
Yeah, Viking Vapers, man. I mentioned the name Viking Vapers. I used to do a lot for them. It was good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm not going to remember
doing that.
Yeah, in the back of the van.
Yeah, I think
I was going to say chances are you've seen it, but Jesus, it was my mate actually. My mate actually. Richard Mace, he came on and he was like, I'll tell him all about how you got your name, Zippy. I was like, bring it on. And I just got that sort of sidetracked. I was like, Jesus.
Hey, Michael Harris, just so you know, our mistakes are good because it teaches you not to do it. Hey, when I started using mechs, there was no Ohm's law. Like there was, but nobody was talking about it. Like that was shit you had to learn as you went.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't big like it is now.
Dude, you know some of the lessons we learned in the early days. We learned the hard way.
Yeah, like
guaranteed.
Real hard.
Apart from the odd dry hit now and again, which let's face it, we all do. Them lessons were learned the first time round.
Bro, the worst time I ever had kissing coils, I had a stacked AV Able. It was a stacked Able. And I had the what the hell RDA? Oh, do you remember? Do y'all remember the VPRS, the Thunderclouds?
Yeah.
Yes.
I had that RDA on there, and I had a set of series coils in it. So I pulled off the cap, and I was trying to get it nice and wet because you know how series coils are, like they dry out real easy after a couple hits. And I can't remember what happened. My wife said something. It was something, and I just looked away for a minute. And as I look away, like the cap's sitting over here on the table, and I hold the mod like this, and I just got done dripping it. So I'm thinking I'm safe to hit it because I just dripped it, so it's fine. So subconsciously, I'm talking to her, and I'm just like, all right, it's what it is. And I put it up. I'm not exaggerating. The coils, literally, one lip was here, one lip was here. Like I had both lips with a set of series coils, and for like a month, I had this big ass line on both lips from where the series coils. It was the worst thing ever, and it burnt so bad. I was just like, and ripped it, and that just straight series power to those 0.3 ohm coils. I was like,
mate, I'll still do it now, and I did it the other month, man, and it's still healing. I'm there building up my RDA, and I'm like, yeah, party up, bang, 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 and I went like that to take it off the mud, not realising, no cap, I've just fired these coils, and I've just gone twist like that.
Yeah, I've done that.
That's
I've touched them.
That is still healing. Man, I know what burning flesh smells like. And I tell you what, I know how sore that bit and that bit become.
Yeah.
I couldn't feel them for days, man.
oh, that's horrible.
That's why I lazy boy drip now.
Yeah.
But I just finished building. I was like, yeah, it's fine. You know what I mean? Just twist the cars like, yeah. I tell you what, and them things, they just fizzle through the skin, man.
I managed to set my hand on fire once. I mean, literally, I managed to set my entire hand on fire once, and half my back garden.
With a vape?
No.
Oh, okay.
Petrol.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, I got some wicked stories about petrol. Well, I'm not gonna go into it.
Right, I'm just gonna bang up the rules one last time because we are nearing the end of the show. So here's the rules for the hamper again. Get on it. This is just part one for the hamper selection that we've got coming up for you guys. So get on that. You've got until 9 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time on Saturday morning to get in for part one. If you don't get in for part one, you will not get entered.
Are we gonna put that on the Facebook? And
I'm not going to put the rules up. No, they can come and watch this and find out, Josh.
And if you're for all our US vapors, that's 4 a.m. on Saturday. So get it in by Friday night if you can.
Yeah. Otherwise, you will not get entered for the next round, the next part of it. There will be another code, and then we have something else planned as well down the line.
Man.
For other things, which will be fun again.
Oh yeah.
You saying this hasn't been fun?
Well, it's been a different show tonight. It's been a different show. We touched on some very serious and heartfelt issues, as well as having fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
That's what we're all about.
We do it all.
Yeah. no subject is taboo on LXV.
No.
Okay.
That's all.
Yeah.
Do you mind if the rabbit gets the last words tonight?
Why not?
No, not at all, because Rabbit can do the outro as well.
So anybody got to say anything before I do the last words, and then we can tell everybody bye.
Only one,
that's
and that is, I just want to, that's it, and that is, you know, like we said earlier, inbox is always open. You know, nobody has to be alone. You know, it's good to talk. So that's me.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So
Go on, Rabbit.
for last words tonight, just a couple things real quick that I've noticed lately that I've been seeing in a lot of the vape groups is there's been a few people that have been getting back into the old swing of things with the negative comments and the trolling people and stuff like that. I just want to remind everybody that we are a family, and I'm not talking just the LXV and the leaguers. I'm talking the vape industry as a whole. We have to stay that way, keep that positive thinking as we move forward. We are all in this shit together. So help each other out, be there for each other. This time of year is very, rough on some people. And and for those that it's not, reach out to some of those people that it's rough on and just let them know you're there, that you care about them, that you love them, that if they need you, they can reach out to you. You'd be surprised what a text message or a private message or a phone call means to somebody. It might only be 2 minutes of your life, but you might actually save theirs. So stay positive, love people, man. Let's do this together. Like, we got this. We're a family, so let's act like a family. From me and all the guys at LXV, we love all you guys. I can't wait to see y'all next week, and have a great night. See ya.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.